Exercise intolerance. Okay, this is a really, really important topic when discussing exercise for autoimmune patients, because we often experience this kind of phases of, I can't do what I used to do, right? We have all at one point or another said, like, I'm not able to do what I used to do. And there's a reason for that. There are certain periods of time when your body does not tolerate exercise. And I'll tell you why. Because there are times, especially during increased autoimmune activity, increased lupus activity, that your body is just like, exercise is really not important right now. We're just trying to recover. We're just trying to feel well. And so if you start experiencing kind of those like decreased endurance, decreased strength, and you're like, why can't I do this? I lifted this much last week. Listen to that. Don't get frustrated, because usually the answer is, well, I just need to hit the gym more, right? I just need to do this more often. And that is not usually the case, especially in autoimmune patients, because when you start to decrease in your like activity performance, that is a sign from your body that you need to rest. Okay, you either need to rest or you need to kind of change up the modality, right? If you are high intensity individual, scale it back, right? And exercise intolerance is very, very temporary if you allow your body to rest. Okay, so if you feel like, I can't do what I used to be able to do not worry. It doesn't mean you're never going to be back there again. Give your body a little time to rest, maybe kind of scale back to some lower impact exercises for a couple weeks. But the more that you try to push through exercise intensity, the longer you're going to be in that season of exercise intolerance, right? Because your body is requesting rest. And if you don't allow it that rest, it's going to stay there until you do. So exercise intolerance, very, very normal part of living with autoimmune disease. But it can be temporary if you listen to your body and you honor your body and allow it to rest. But also be careful. Exercise intolerance is not an excuse for you to not participate in exercise, because we've all established exercise is very, very important. And it doesn't mean get rid of exercise altogether. Decrease that intensity until your body recovers from whatever autoimmune flare-up is going on at the time. So if anyone has any more questions on that, please feel free to ask. Okay. All right. Finding your motivation. So what happens when you do not feel motivated, right? It's been 6 months, maybe for some of us, 18, 19, 20 months, whatever it's been, right? What if you don't feel motivated to exercise? What do? So I'm going to do the tough love thing here. I don't often do this. I'm a very nice person. Emmett will tell you I'm very sweet and gentle, but sometimes I have to bring out the coach hat and say, you cannot wait on motivation. And that is just the honest truth. Motivation is not going to show up. So for some of you that are waiting until you feel motivated, that day will never come. All right. And this is as mean as I get. But that motivation will just not show up at the door. Okay. Motivation is created from action. I want you all to say that out loud. I want to see all your mouths moving. Motivation is created from action. Okay, good. We're all clear on that. What is action? Action can look like a 2-minute lymphatic massage. Action can look like a 5-minute stretch break. Action can look like a 10-minute walk. Okay. The smaller you start, see down here, I have a little bullet point that says start small and allow for neuroplasticity. So that rewiring of the brain that we talked about earlier. If you can start small and do your 2-minute lymphatic massage, and then you say to yourself, well, I did that. Good job, me. I'm amazing. And it sounds silly, But you have to celebrate those wins, because the more your brain registers that small action is good, the more inclined you're going to be next time to do it again, right? And when you can master 2 minutes, you're going to master 5 minutes shortly after. You can master 5 minutes, 10 minutes becomes easy. You master 10 minutes consistently over time, 15 minutes becomes very, very feasible. And you all see where I'm going with this, right? Because we often are so overwhelmed by the thought that I have to exercise for a whole hour, right? Or 45 minutes. And just the thought of that can keep us from taking action, because we feel like it has to be 30 minutes or it has to be 45 minutes. It has to be an hour. Otherwise, what's the point? Not true. Not true. That's that negative brain talk, right? We can interrupt that thought and say, you know what? 5 minutes is doable today. I'm just, my upper body's feeling kind of tight. I'm just going to do these 3 stretches for my upper body. And I'm going to be like, good job, Daniela. Thank you, Daniela. You're so great. Thank you. I know. And give yourself that like celebratory self-talk, because the next time my body's going to be like, this was good. We like that. Right? We're going to do it again. And I know it sounds silly. Trust me, sometimes I feel silly. When I've had trouble waking up, like getting up out of bed in the mornings because I don't feel motivated, I literally get out of bed and I say, good job, Daniela. And I'm like, thank you, Daniela. You're so great. And I got up out of bed and I just celebrated getting out of bed. And so it makes the next morning a little bit easier, because my brain has remembered like, hey, this activity was really fun, right? And even if it like wasn't something we normally register as fun, if we tell our brain it's fun, your brain is going to mark it as fun. So motivation is created from action. Very tiny actions build up over time. So if you are feeling overwhelmed by the fact that you don't have the energy to exercise for 30 minutes, that's okay. Start with that 2-minute lymphatic massage I just showed you. Start there. Redefining exercise. I mentioned earlier that exercise does not have to be the treadmill, does not have to be the weight room, and be a lot of different things. So take some time to really kind of explore different movements. Maybe there's some dance classes that you've been wanting to take. Maybe there's a group that meets at the park, or create your own accountability, right? So one of the bullet points here is creating that accountability. Grab a friend, grab a buddy, a family member to join you for a walk. And identify your lowest hanging fruit. And that is identifying the things that you enjoy. Like, what is easy for you? Like, does your neighborhood have a sidewalk? Go for a walk. Do you enjoy working out inside in your home? Look up some YouTube videos, right? My YouTube channel has some of my previous autoimmune movement classes that I do every month. Start there, right? And again, start small and allow those neural circuits in your brain to start to change. So start small. And then, of course, be prepared for setbacks, because they are part of the process, right? There are going to be days where you don't feel like doing it. There are going to be days where you say, you know what, today's not the day. That's okay. But do not stay there, right? Simply be aware that setbacks happen. They happen for me. I'm the fitness professional. I literally got a degree in this. And there are some days where I'm like, if I have to look at one more squat today, right? We all experience that. So of course it's perfectly normal, but be aware of it, and be aware that those are just thoughts, right? Thoughts are not facts. The thoughts are thoughts. All right, let's keep going. This is one of my favorite mottos, something I talk to my clients about all the time, is 1% better. 1% better every day. 1% is such a tiny amount, but if we aim for 1% better every day over a whole year, we're going to be 37% better across the whole year, and that is significant. So little tiny actions add up to big results. So aim for 1% better every day, right? We don't have to be 100% every single day. And then, I like to talk to people about owning their journey, designing your program. Like I said, find what you like, find what, works for you. Get creative, trial and error. It's okay. Trial and errors are perfectly fine in the world of fitness. Create your schedule and be honest about how much time and how often you can commit. If your commitment right now looks like 2 30-minute walks each week, commit to that. That is good. That is a great place to start. Then maintain it. Maintain your schedule. Keep it a priority. And on days where lupus is just too much, what's like one small thing that you can do that day, right? Is it maybe just practicing some breathing exercises, right? We talked about how lymph is moved by movement and breath. And breathing exercises are, I would consider those exercise. We are exercising those muscles. And then assess your progress. Take inventory of how you feel. Check in with yourself. Say, Denora, how am I doing today, right? Am I enjoying what I'm doing? Like, how am I feeling? Is this becoming easy? Can I challenge myself a little bit more? Am I challenging myself too much, right? Take inventory of how you feel. What are you enjoying? What would you like to try? So it's, like I said, trial and error. Fitness is an ever-changing process. Like just this year, I started rock climbing, just something to do with my husband. I'm by no means a professional at it, and I'm still on the beginners courses, but it's just something that's fun for me to try, right? So assess. It's always changing in different seasons, and what you enjoy in this season might not be what you enjoy in the next season. Or maybe you used to play basketball and you miss it. Go try it. Go dribble the ball a little bit, shoot some hoops, and get outside. All right. When it comes to movement progression, something I like to focus on with my clients is position, pattern, and power. So we first work on position, getting into positions correctly, emphasis on stability and range of motion. And so the program that I work on with my clients is the remade method. And this is something that I walk them through of position, pattern, moving through that range of motions, and then power. Can you execute those movements with strength and speed? So, okay, we are at the 1 hour mark. So I'm going to quickly go through these resources and then we'll open up for some Q&A. So resources, Lupus Foundation website, Lupus Europe YouTube channel I mentioned earlier. It's has some like good movements if you're looking for a place to start. If you look up on YouTube, Daniela Spear, you'll find my YouTube channel that has some previous autoimmune movement classes. I do a free monthly class. So it's always on either the first or second Saturday of the month. If you go to my website, remadewellness.com, you will find at the bottom a place to register for the Remade Journal. And if you sign up for my email list, you will get information of when the classes are happening. They're via Zoom. They're on Saturdays. They're 9 a.m. Eastern time. I know that you all are Pacific time, but if you are an early bird and would like to join, they're 30-minute classes that are very autoimmune friendly, low impact, but still a very good workout. And then the Remade method, which is how I work with my clients one-on-one. So if you have any questions around what we talked about today, or you have some more specific questions that you'd like to kind of talk one-on-one with me, feel free to set up a consultation with me. I offer free consultations to everyone that is interested in working with me, or even if you're just trying to see if like we'd be a good fit to work together. Go to my website, remadewellness.com, and fill out the contact form, and be happy to set up a consultation with you. So these are ways that you can stay connected with me. Again, my website is remadewellness.com. The Remade Journal is a weekly email I send out to my email list with upcoming events, resources, and I like to journal. So a lot of it is me sharing some of my experiences with autoimmune disease and kind of navigating the like emotional side of things and like the physical struggles, of it as well. And you can feel free to email me, hello@remadewellness.com.